Good morning. I have certainly enjoyed our interactions on the question of contextualization in the discussion board, as well as the whole matter of evaluating short-term mission trips. I've read the papers, and I've often remarked to my wife that that person has it together. My goal is not to stop mission trips, but to have mission trips that have a long-term impact of betterment, and that the team is not a headache to the missionary that they're working with, to provide housing, food, some activity. That's a lot. I've read missionary letters of saying they need to recuperate because they've had 5 missionary trips there this summer. And if a supporting church offers to send a group, how can a missionary maintain a healthy relationship and say, no, I don't need a 5th one. I can only handle 2 per summer. If you want to talk about the summer of 2021, let's begin talking about that now. So they're quite an interesting challenge. And one student wrote about the economic impact. That's something really helpful to understand. Well, week 6, we're going to talk about benevolence policy. I wish that I would have had a benevolence policy many, many years ago. And I really love what the book by Corbett and Fickert have to say about church benevolence. It's respecting people, but also being certain that we don't hurt people in the process. So the objectives for the week are to develop a biblically based benevolence policy for your church. Or if you don't have that kind of influence, you can make a proposal that might be considered, but it can be a church in general where you might minister in the future. And then differentiate in that benevolence policy the difference between relief, rehabilitation, and development. Study materials, you'll enjoy these chapters from Corbett and Fickert. Keller, we have chapters 11 to 14, and then a powerful video that's done by Robert Lupton. We've read part of his book. And then the assignment is to critique the benevolence policy of your church. Let me read you what it has to say. Learn from your pastor or other church leader how requests for financial aid are handled in your church. In a 3-page document, present some initial ideas for developing a policy or modifying an existing one that will neither insult or enable addictive behaviors of the person making the request, but help them move from relief to rehabilitation to development status. Primarily rely on the course resources of Corbett and Fickert and Lupton, but also utilize internet resources. I will include in my printed announcement some possible links you might want to check out. I have really, in studying this whole matter, I have increasingly come to appreciate 2 aspects of a benevolence policy, which are administrative, not principles. The first one is to fill out an application on paper or on a computer. And the second is there's a 2-day waiting period. I guess a third thing that I learned was it's valuable to have 3 people on that committee who makes the decisions. So I hope this is another practical piece of information as you seek to relate to your community. God bless you.